Sir, parade formed up in open orders, present and ready for your inspection. Sir.
Naam, kinachoendelea hivi sasa ni ukaguzi wa gwaride APTC sera mwendwa.
Sir, they have the permission to carry on with the parade. Sir.
Ukaguzi wa gwaride umeweza kutamatika kupisha nafasi ya kuwasawadi Naam, kinachoendelea hivi sasa ni baadhi ya maafisa hawa ambao waliweza kufanya bora zaidi katika vitengo tofauti vya mafunzo hapa kwenye chuo cha mafunzo cha polisi tawala. The best all-round Assistant County Commissioner's course number 3 of 2022. Personal number 2021-041-6530. Assistant County Commissioner Dennis Mwangi Mushangi from Mathira West Sub-County. Afisa huyo basi yeye ndiye aliweza kufanya bora zaidi katika vitengo vyote vya mafunzo. Leo yeye ndiye kamanda wa gwaride.
Thank you, sir.
Marksman of the course, personal number 2022-003371, Assistant County Commissioner Martin Wanjiku from Embakasi Sub-County.
Sir.
Basi afisa huyo basi aliweza kufanya bora zaidi katika kitengo cha silaha, kisha akaibuka mshindi katika ulengaji wa shabaha na kujizolea asilimia 94 kwa ujumla kule Ewaso Kedong.
Thank you, sir.
Asante sana mgeni wetu kuweza kwa zawadi wale wote walioweza kufanya bora katika vitengo.
I'm honored today to preside over the pass out of the National Government Officers Paramilitary Course, this being the third cohort of NGAOs to successfully undertake this course this year. The role that you play as NGAO officers in ensuring peace and security in the country is extremely important, and the government recognizes your role in ensuring that government has footprints at the grassroots across the country. Within our national security architecture, NGAO officers are empowered to coordinate security agencies to ensure security for our people and the protection of their property. In this regard, IG, I thank you for the commitment you've just made, but the commitment also you have assured me severally of the continued support and collaboration of the National Police Service with our NGAO officers at all levels to ensure a seamless delivery of service to the people of Kenya. The NGAO officers who coordinate security matters at the regional and other levels cascaded downwards will continue to depend on the support of our security agencies and the command structures in the regions and the county and sub-county levels to ensure that we keep our country safe and secure, and we are able to deal with the challenges that this sector is facing. For you graduates, as you are aware, our Constitution creates two levels of government: the national government and the county governments. These two levels of government are distinct, but they are also interdependent. The national government administration, through you and your colleagues at other cadres, play a critical interface between these two levels of government, that is the national and county governments. For us in the national government, you are entrusted as NGAO officers with the cardinal duty of managing and promoting the image and reputation of the national government in the various areas of jurisdiction. It is therefore expected of NGAO officers to interpret and disseminate government policies to the members of the public. And at this juncture, I want to emphasize that the role of NGAO officers, pursuant to our Constitution and the law of our country, is to coordinate generally government functions and activities in the various levels of the administrative jurisdiction and also to propagate government policy. In this regard, I give you my commitment as the minister responsible for the Interior and National Administration that we shall give you the support to perform this role, and we shall not ask you to do anything else besides what is defined as your role in the law. We expect you to project the image of government positively, so that when wananchi see you, when wananchi see a NGAO officer, they don't see a bully. They don't see someone who is interfering with their freedoms. They see a facilitator of the services that mwananchi requires from the national government. I therefore charge you to be the ambassadors that you are supposed to be of the national government and sensitize our people in your areas of jurisdiction to obey the law, to do their civic responsibilities, to build our nation, and generally to be available to help this country rise to the levels that we desire collectively as a people. And therefore, once more, you are expected to help government generally and in collaboration with law enforcement agencies to deal with drugs and narcotics, illicit brews, but at the same time, you are supposed to enable government at your areas of jurisdiction to project a positive image and build trust and relationships between the national government and the people of Kenya. NGAO officers are supposed to be champions of government policies, such as afforestation, so that we can deal with the threat of climate change. You're supposed to be at the forefront to sensitize the public on national programs such as immunization, the registration of persons, and all other services that government offers across the country. In other words, we will not expect NGAO officers to participate in extraneous activities, including politics. The policy of this administration is to create a professional national government administrative organ that can serve the country impartially, equally, and in accordance with the law. Leave political matters to politicians. Politicians from across the political divide should be left to manage politics, to persuade each other, to criticize one another, and to do what politicians do. Our work for those who are in this sector is to provide services to the people of Kenya, irrespective of their ethnicity, political affiliation, religion, or any other connection. Having said so, As we've been told, this is the third cohort within this year, and the total of the officers that have been trained now comes to 1,397. We expect to continue with this program, and we also will be training other cadres, including chiefs and assistant chiefs, who also require training to be able to effectively discharge their services in their areas of jurisdiction. The same will apply to the deputy county commissioners so that we can train them and prepare them for leadership even as they look forward towards career progression within the national government administration structure. The desire of the Ministry of the Interior and National Administration is to ensure that officers have attended the requisite promotional courses. And that is why we want to accelerate this program. And as your minister, I'll do whatever is feasibly possible to ensure that the resources that are required for these training programs are secured from the National Treasury to make sure that we have a professional NGAO as well as other services in the security sector that can serve the people of Kenya competently and efficiently. It is worth noting at this juncture that this course enhances your understanding of the relationship and linkages between the various security formations and linkages in the field and how they interact. You are now better in the appraisal of the security situations in the field and how best to address it. For the avoidance of doubt, NGAO officers remain the coordinating agencies for all security matters, and therefore the cooperation that NGAO officers should receive from the security sector agencies cannot be overemphasized. We will not allow tough wars and territorial fights because this sector is so sensitive that any lapses caused by the need perhaps to one sector or one section of the sector to protect its interests, the lapses can cost the country irredeemable losses. And therefore, your coordination role as NGAO officers will continue and will continue engaging the security agencies to cooperate with you to ensure that this is realized. This course is not just a course to help you do your work. It is also for your own career progression, as stipulated in the revised scheme of service for national government administrative officers of 2015. The ministry is working towards mounting other promotional courses for NGAO officers, and as I've said, including a diploma in public administration, DPA, senior management course, SMC, and strategic development program, SLDP. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just highlight a few things before I conclude my remarks. That going forward, we expect to initiate policy reforms in this sector to ensure the delivery of service. I have already announced certain measures that affect the chiefs and assistant chiefs, even as they help the government to address crime, especially areas where there is runaway banditry and also the threat of terrorism. The government has taken the policy decision that police and other law enforcement agencies will work with chiefs and assistant chiefs to protect the people of Kenya and their property from criminals, cattle rustlers, terrorists, and the kind that have brought untold suffering and death to a vast majority of the people of the northern part of our country. In this regard, all chiefs and assistant chiefs will be vetted for suitability to bear arms so that they can be armed to support the security agencies in the areas that are affected by banditry and the threat of terrorism along the Kenya-Somalia border. This process begins immediately and will start with chiefs and assistant chiefs in the areas which I have mentioned. We have also taken the policy decision that every chief will have at their disposal 5 police officers across the country to assist them in the enforcement of law and order in their areas of jurisdiction. We have also taken the policy decision to upscale the National Police Reservice program in all the counties that are affected by the problem of livestock rustling and banditry and the threat of terrorism. And therefore this program, in the next few months, will be concluded to make sure that the National Police Reservice work hand in hand with the police and other specialized formations within the security sector that are helping us to protect our country from those who want to undermine our sovereignty and our democracy. In this regard, I also want to take this opportunity to salute our law enforcement agencies, including NGAO officers, who are working under very difficult circumstances to protect our people and their property. I particularly salute those who are working in areas where there is serious risk of life and limb, not only to citizens, but also to our officers. All the NGAO officers, all the law enforcement agencies working under these conditions, you have the support of government as you undertake this special assignment. We will stand by you. We will improve on the equipment that you require to be able to combat these dangerous criminals, and we will not allow any discussion from any quarter whatsoever except that which is in the national interest. I have been in those places. The risk is extremely high. The conditions and the environment and the terrain is extremely challenging. And we are not going to have a situation where bandits and criminals hold hostage our country to a level of a few instances where we have had a few officers lose their life in the line of duty. I repeat this for the avoidance of doubt. The gun, the weapon that a security officer is provided for by the government of Kenya. That weapon is to protect the people of Kenya, their lives and their property from criminals. Therefore, use that weapon within the law. Use it within the Constitution. And the government of Kenya will defend you, will protect you, will stand by you, because this assignment must be achieved. And for it to be achieved, we will need to stand by you, walk with you in the journey, and make sure we do not abandon you, even as you deliver this risky assignment on behalf of the people of Kenya. Therefore, in the areas that are affected by banditry and the threats of terrorism, the chiefs, assistant chiefs, the ACCs, and all the other formations will be provided with arms. They will work hand in hand with the police, the NPR, and all the other specialized formations that we are putting in place to make sure that we deal with these security threats once and for all. You have my commitment, and you have the commitment of the government of Kenya. We intend to also make a few other policy directives relating to NGAOs, and therefore I'll be meeting with all the cadres of NGAO shortly so that we can jointly agree on a roadmap on how to improve our service delivery to the people of Kenya. I am aware that a number of officers have retired or are soon retiring. And this brings a challenge that requires to be addressed urgently. The challenges of succession management will be addressed, as I have said, progressively, and the ministry will engage with the Public Service Commission to address the gaps in succession management and fill all the existing vacancies in the authorized establishment for NGAOs. And this way, we expect the promotion of some officers to the next grade in a short while. I am acutely aware that the ACCs in particular have challenges with regard to their transport. Most of the divisions, in most of the divisions, and there are no motor vehicles. And ACCs have sometimes to hike lifts or to use borrowed transport. So we are addressing that as soon as possible. We already have the leasing program where we want to retain about 200 cars and acquire an equal number in the shortest time possible. And therefore, we want to ensure that within the next 3 months, every ACC will be provided with transport so that they can be able to deliver services to the people of Kenya. There are, of course, resource constraints, not only in the security sector, but across government. But as I have said, your work is to stick to the delivery of services and to make sure that you don't veer off from your mandate. Our work is to make sure that we look for those resources and ensure that you are equipped to deliver those services. I therefore want to thank you and congratulate you on successful completion of this paramilitary course. to wish you well in your career, and to inform you that the ministry will facilitate your career progression for those who work hard and those who remain committed to this professional calling. It has been an honor for me to serve as your minister, and I thank the President for the appointment. I also thank all the NGAO officers who have sent me messages of goodwill and support. And I want to thank all the NGAO officers, the regional commissioners, the county commissioners, the deputy county commissioners, the ACCs, the chiefs, the assistant chiefs, who continue to work tirelessly to help government achieve its development objectives. You need to break new grounds, and therefore we will be requiring a bit of culture change. Upon discussions among ourselves, we will agree on a number of culture changes that we will initiate ourselves as a sector to make sure that we work better for the people of Kenya. Even as we speak, the NGAO officers are facilitating a very important national exercise, and that is the administration of the examinations to our pupils and students in grade 6 under the CBC program, class 8 under the 844 program, and also the KCSE under the 844 program. This national exercise is continuing, and I want to ask security agencies to be vigilant and cooperate with the Ministry of Education to ensure that we have successful examinations. I am also expecting NGAO officers and our security law enforcement agencies to be vigilant even as we enter into the Christmas season. We cannot afford to let down our guard, because it is during times like this that we need to be even extra vigilant. I therefore want to end there. And before that, I just want to recognize the support that the ministry is getting from the parliamentary committee that is responsible for National Assembly, for national security, both at the National Assembly level and the Senate. And today we have some of their representatives with us. I want to thank them, recognize them, and commit to them that the ministry will cooperate with them even as they do oversight over this ministry to ensure that we collectively mitigate any risks that can lead to insecurity in our country. I particularly thank the Honorable Dido Raso, Member of Parliament for SACU, who is the Vice Chairman of the National Assembly Committee on Matters National Security, and the other two members, the Honorable Ambassador Francis Igei, Member of Parliament for Sotik, and the Honorable Peter Opondo Kaluma, Member of Parliament for Homa Bay constituency. Asanteni sana, and thank you for coming, waheshimiwa. We will work together to deliver. I also want to thank our 8 regional commissioners. Your seniors, graduates, have come to witness this occasion, and I want to ask the regional commissioners to stand so that they can be appreciated. Thank you very much, RCs, for coming. I wish you well, even as you serve our country. Go out there, be good ambassadors of government, and we will support you, and also ensure that your working conditions and your welfare is increasingly reviewed. There are many things that we cannot say here, including how we can facilitate you at your stations other than transport. But those discussions will be entering into them shortly, as soon as we launch the task force or the Presidential Working Party on reforms in the disciplined forces, because we have the police reforms, prison reforms, but also we will include NGAO in that category. I want to thank in a special way the National Police College, Embakasi A campus, for facilitating the training of 3 NGAO cohorts of this very intense course. Our gratitude goes to the leadership of this college, led by the commandant of the college and all the instructors and the entire staff for a job well done. It is now my pleasure to declare the NGAO's paramilitary training course number 3 of 2022 officially concluded. Thank you.
Honorable Professor Kindiki, NGH, Cabinet Secretary, Interior and National Administration, Bwana Nur Yaro Gabo, the Commandant, the DIG and National Police, Mheshimiwa Raso, Mheshimiwa Kaluma, Mheshimiwa Francis Sigei, Bwana Adha Osia, Bwana Munyambo, Musiambo, Wanyama, regional commissioners from the 8 regions, karibu sana. Senior officers from Ministry of Interior, fellow police officers, graduates. Well, sir, on behalf of the National Police Service, I would like to most sincerely thank you for accepting to grace this occasion of the graduation of the 3rd cohort of the administration officers. Tuwashukuru sana waziri. We know how busy you are. Yesterday, you were in Isiolo, Wajir. We were talking when you were late in the night, somewhere in Nanyuki. I know after this, I'm aware you are leaving for Kanyonyo. So we are encouraged by the commitment we see in you to serve this country. As a service, on behalf of all the officers under the NPS, kusema ukweli, we are encouraged. Najua ni tumekata wewe tunasungumuza mambo ya welfare officers under the NPS. Wakati wanakuwa discouraged, they are condemned. You have always come to aid. Mambo ya sheria, with your background in international law, betusaidia sana. Therefore, on behalf of the NPS, is to thank His Excellency the President most sincerely for appointing you to be our CS. We are well guided. Well, sir, I now take this opportunity to congratulate the graduating class for having successfully completed their 1-month paramilitary training. Incidentally, sir, the whole training program took 3 months, in which there was a component which was carried out by Kenya School of Government, The trainees were taken through various aspects of leadership and governance. Then there was a second component at the Kenya School of Adventure and leadership. And the whole program is intended to mold these graduates to be effective leaders with ability to work seamlessly with other stakeholders in the security sector and in any work environment. This training comes at a time when the spirit of multi-agency approach in managing security issues is in top gear. The mutual interaction and cooperation between leaders of the National Police Service, our officers, national government administration, and other non-state actors has enabled us to resolve, address issues affecting national security. We have seen this bear fruits in the ongoing security operations in the city. The city now is calm. Within a short while, we came together as, using multi-agency approach, and of course, other parts of the country. Sir, we assure you that as the National Police Service, we will continue to partner with NGAO. We have no option. We must work together in providing security to our beautiful country and also our borders. I urge these capable officers to continue embracing the same spirit with a view to creating a safe and secure living environment for our own people, citizens of this country. Sir, it is now my humble duty to welcome you to address these graduates. You're welcome, sir.